Hello everyone, this is Ray from Babco. I'd like to talk about anchors. These lifts, these 2-post lifts, are put in with a wedge anchor. They're a quite simple device. It's a 3/4 inch hole that's drilled in the concrete. Never use water when you're drilling. It sinks into the ground, but when you go to bring it up, this wedge here is what actuates it. That's called embedment in here. This is a 6-inch anchor. And that's not considering this top part, because that's considered sacrificial. You're going to smoke that with a hammer when you put it in there. It's not really considered in the length. This has already been anchored here, and you can see how it should show up. So when you put it in the ground, you're going to have about a thread or two showing. You're going to pound it into the ground till it comes flush, and you're going to tighten it up to the specified torque. It's going to wind up with a couple of threads showing. That's the way it should be. If you wind up with something like that showing, it didn't embed properly, and you may have to take steps to rectify that. Now, it's got to be checked once in a while, and don't be surprised if the first time you check your torque, you actually do get some soft anchors. They're going to pull up a little bit. Really unlikely that it'll happen again. So you take your torque wrench. The specification on this lift is 85 to 95 foot-pounds. Let's call it 100. I always could set it to 100. So you check your torque with this thing, and go in a pattern, just like torquing a cylinder head or other things, because it makes sense. Kind of a torque sequence, and do that. Now, again, the first time you do this, which will be, say, a month or two after the installation, don't be surprised if you can actually crank this thing a couple of turns before achieving torque. It will likely never happen again. An inspector's going to come by once a year and maybe get a little bit again. If it starts to turn in there, again, there's steps to take. But generally, these things are very reliable and they're very simple.